This morning as I came up, you guys are all busy, so I thought, oh, I can actually kind of look at this now, because as long as you're busy, I can feel the balance or the lack of balance in this painting. But whenever I do a workshop, I do a demo, I don't know whether this is even working or not until I get back home, I go into my studio, my sacred space, and I look at the painting, and then I go, ah, that's what it looks like. Same thing with who I am. I don't know how I'm doing as a person when I'm on a trip, and I kind of get this feeling of like, oh, this is where I'm at. And I think that from that kind of quiet space, you kind of get your sense, am I out of balance, or I'm drifting to this way, I'm drifting. So I recommend for all of my students, I had one student come to my house, she had moved up from Las Vegas, her husband had died about 2 years ago, and she loved to paint, but she went through the muse is dead thing, she had wonderful painter, lived in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and she called me up. She said, I don't know, I can't get back into painting, I don't want to. So I said, bring over your work, let's talk about it. She brought over about 10 paintings, and we stood around. I said, these are wonderful paintings. I said, just tell me about your day. Tell me just, what do you do every day? So she gave me the rundown. I said, now tell me the last time you remember going into your studio and having fun painting. Were you really excited about it? She said, she thought for a second. She said, well, I was in Las Vegas. It was about 2 years ago. And I got together with some friends, and we had a great time painting, but I had one friend especially who would get together and paint. And so it was fun to see her start to smile about that. And I said, what I'm going to recommend for you is, she thought I'd give her some technical advice about painting, like give her an assignment or have her do this, which I could. Maybe that would work. But I told her, I said, try this. I said, do you spend any time at all just kind of sitting and trying to quiet your mind at all? Have you even heard of that? She said, yeah, kind of, not too much. She usually keeps a pretty full schedule. I said, try this. Try just taking like 5 minutes in the morning where you make sure the phone isn't going to ring, you don't have to go anywhere, grab a cup of coffee, sit down and just sip your coffee and say, I know I'm breathing in, I know I'm breathing out, tomorrow may not come, yesterday is gone. This is a wonderful moment. Feel your feet, feel your hands, feel the couch, breathe in and just relax. You might even get sleep. But when you start to do this, your mind is going to get very panicky. Especially if you've never done this. It's going to start to go, what are you doing here? What are you doing? It's kind of like the left brain, right brain. When you do the abstract, what are you doing here? We don't do abstract. Remember, you hate abstracts. They don't mean anything. What are you doing here? Same thing when you get quiet. When you get quiet and you're not used to getting quiet, there's kind of a panicky feeling. I said, if you can't do it 5 minutes, try it a minute. If you can't do it a minute, try it for 15 seconds. If you can't do it for 15 seconds, see if for 5 seconds you can actually just quiet the noise, sip your coffee, and say, that's good for this morning. And then the afternoon, set aside as time, 5 seconds. Nothing's planned. You sit there, sip your coffee, and go, wow, 5 seconds. Excellent. Build on that, and I think your muse will come back, your desire to paint will come back, and if it doesn't come back, something else that you really want to do or wanted to do will start to go. All of a sudden you'll realize, wow, the fog will clear and you go, so that's what I wanted to do. So that's who I am, and you might move in that direction. So remember, art is just an activity we do. We could take up bowling. This could be a bowling workshop, or who knows what, writing or dancing. You can even give bowling workshops, I don't know. So anyhow, really what this is for is to make us more peaceful and beautiful people, and make the world a more beautiful place. If pursuing this screws up who we are, then we better either change the way we're doing this or change who we are so that when we do this, we just have a more positive aspect. What I like about painting is that it's an analogy. This is the world. All these shapes, colors, and textures are a world, all these different cultures. So it's good for us. I think when you get involved in painting and you deal with disconnectedness and divisions and tensions in here, it's much more nonviolent to solve our world problems through this analogy than to go out in the world and try to solve them. So it kind of rehearses us for trying to problem solve bring the world together. So this is a great way, and not only this, but music, the arts, I said that at the beginning of the week, the arts, getting involved in the arts, bringing things together is just a great way to rehearse our desire to bring the world together. So our kids, our grandkids can grow up in a more peaceful world, well connected. So that's really, and Bob has very much supported this from the beginning. You've heard it from him, and you're hearing it from both of us then. You know, practice art, practice quieting yourself, practice honoring the sacredness of nature and all the wonderful things. And if you really do want to get better at painting, quiet your mind, and then set aside time. Learn to say no to activities so you can really focus on this, if that's what you want to do. If you want to do portrait painting, go through the steps to become a better portrait painter. You want to do abstract, but go through a certain discipline process, etc. So that's pretty much the pep talk again, end of the week. The other thing is to review in terms of what we did here. I started out in terms of my demo. Just to review these demos a little bit. I did this at the beach. You know, remember I